What's going on, guys? We're back today with another video. Today we have Forster back in the garage again. I know we did this last week, yada yada yada, but we're not doing the timing belt today. Today we are doing more stuff in preparation to sell it. And one of the things I would like to do is keep my stereo that's in it. So I'd hate for the next person to not have a stereo, so I bought this guy off Amazon. Had like 4 stars. I'll leave a link in the description. It was fairly cheap for a double din. It was like 60 bucks. It had Bluetooth and hooked up to a radio, and those are the only 2 things that I really cared about, because that's, let's be real, pretty much all anybody modernly these days, it's pretty much all anybody these days uses is Bluetooth and maybe radio. I don't know. Is there people that actually watch the radio? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, I used to, but I don't really anymore. So, whatever. So anyway, we're gonna throw this bad boy in today. I've done tons of radio installs in the past. I don't know if I've ever done any on this channel, but it's pretty basic wiring. It's usually power, ground, maybe a light switch, switched power, and then the rest are just a bunch of speaker wires. So it's usually like, I don't know, probably won't take me very long, and I've already pulled the Forster apart before to do a radio before, because I put the radio that's currently in it. But like I was saying, I want to keep that one because it has GPS in it, and it's got Bluetooth, and I think it has a CD player. I don't know. I don't really care if it has CDs. But mainly the reason I want to keep it, it has the in-dash GPS and Apple CarPlay, which is super dope and super nice. And it was a very, very expensive radio that my parents bought me for my birthday, because it was like a $600-700 radio that I found on a clearance rack. And my mom was like, "You want that for your birthday?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I do." And my mom hooked it up because my mom's dope. So anyway, moving forward, love your family. Okay, sorry, battery died, because I forget to switch my batteries in my camera all the time, and then they die. So anyway, as I was saying, swapping the radio, because that one's got dope Bluetooth and in-dash GPS and Apple CarPlay and all the cool gizmos and features, and I want to keep the sub out of that car, and I might steal all the wiring for the sub too, because that's usually really expensive, and it was actually in the car when I bought it. And I'll take my amp out. And maybe even my backup camera. So it might be uninstall all the fun things today, which I might also just leave the backup camera in there in lieu of not wanting to detrace it through the car, because it's kind of a pain when I did it. But yeah, so anyway, let's open this radio so you guys can check it out. First things first, we need to grab something. Here's a key. Alright, so Boss Audio Systems, I don't know who makes them, whatever. Boss Audio Systems. Oh, Boss Audio Systems. We got a fancy Nancy remote, a couple pigtails it looks like, one that looks like a power one, and one that looks like the one for all the speakers. That's cool. We have a nice little radio bezel, that's nice. Looks like we got our side brackets here, the radio, and the radio itself, which this thing is surprisingly light, and honestly, take it out of the package. It is definitely not the nicest radio I have ever had, and it definitely is not the most feature-rich radio I've ever had, but like I said, I plan to sell this car because it's about time. I need a truck for that bad boy right there, so I can start towing stuff to events, so I don't have to get towed home from events, because that sucks. It really gets old. So I'm gonna go take the radio out, and then we'll reconvene, and I think I have a pigtail on the back of it to steal, so we can just wire that up and then just plug it in, and off we go. So meet you in the car. Okay, so here's my really, really dirty center console and screen and everything like that. So to start with, parking brake up, throw the car in neutral. If you have one, take this little stick off, or take your automatic knob off, or whatever you got here. Okay, well, that's good enough. Give that a yank, and just push that off to the side. No biggie. Okay, take your release off, and that literally just gets pushed off to the side. Next up, there's 2 screws holding this top piece in. So we'll grab our Phillips, fancy dancy Phillips, straight out of Harbor Freight, free 99. Do you guys get the free tools when you guys go to Harbor Freight? I do, because I'm cheap, and I like free things. 1 screw, 2 screws, there. Okay. And now this piece, I believe if you just gently pry on it, it should pop out. Gently work back and forth until it pops out. Okay, so to get that center piece out, this guy right here, it helps to use like a little, oops, we'll just set that aside. It helps to use one of these guys. You can get them at Harbor Freight for like $1 or $2. They're just trim removal tools, so you don't damage anything. But there's a couple metal clips up around the top edge that are holding it in up there, and then once you pop it out, it'll come loose, but it won't come all the way out because you'll have 2 wiring clips to undo. One for the HVAC right here, and then one up here for your hazard button in the middle. And then take your radio out, pretty simple. There's a couple screws there, and then there's 2 screws right below it. So I'm gonna go ahead and untwist those, and then the radio should fall forward, and we should be able to disconnect the wiring. So do that. So once you get it out, just disconnect everything from the back. Yours will probably look a little different than mine because this is already an aftermarket unit. And then you'll have a couple side plates that you can take off. And then, yeah, the installation process is basically the reverse. The only thing that we actually have to do now is splice into the old harness, which I thought it was on a pigtail, but oh, it is. I lied. It is on a pigtail. That's super exciting, which means we can do all of our soldering outside of the car, which will be so nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and fish that out and fish all the extra wires out of this thing, and then we'll pick it back up once we're ready to start putting everything back together. So be right back. Check it out, world. It is a slizzard outside. We're having a slizzard. It's rain, snowing. Slizzard? Shraining. It's snraining. So quick update Reno. I have gotten all of those fun wires out, which go with all of this fun junk right here, my sub and my amp, and I've gotten the head unit out. So one last thing to take out, but I just wanted to update you guys on that rain and snow, the snain. Snrain? Leave me a comment. Tell me what it should be called. Anyway, one last thing to get out, which is the backup camera. So I'm gonna work on that and probably take a break real quick, enjoy some lunch with the wife, and then come back to it. So, Bailey, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, just making sure she's not in the snain, getting soaked. But yeah, anyway, so gonna go have that, or gonna quick intermission, and then gonna get back to it. But just want to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description down below. I'll have a link to this radio if you guys are wanting to do something simpler or similar. Oh yeah, real quick, I didn't tell you guys, the reason I got the double din over a single din, because single dins are usually just a little bit cheaper, is because I didn't want to deal with the cage. To be totally realistic, double dins just look a lot nicer to me. They make the car look a little bit more premium. Bailey, come back inside. They look a lot more premium to me, and I just want to keep that look a little bit nicer in this car. So yeah, I think the wife's home right now. Gonna go ahead and enjoy some lunch with her. That's it for right now. Check back in with you guys in a minute. Peace. Okay, we are back from the meals of the midday, aka lunch, and taking out the rest of the wires. So just finished up pulling out the rest of that junk. As you can tell, I took the time to pull out the backup camera and all the wiring for the backup camera, so now whenever I get the truck, I can literally just put all of this junk into the truck, and I'll have a dope subwoofer and a nice, at least head unit, and if I have to, I'll replace the speakers in it, and then I got the backup camera still and all the wiring for all of it, so that's super exciting. All that stuff is really expensive, so I didn't really want to have to go buy it all again, so why not? Why not keep it? So, and if I decide I want to do a different setup, I can always sell it off later and go buy something new. So anyway, on to the actual swapping of the head unit, because we still have to finish that. So first up, I'm going to take this rat's nest, and we're just gonna basically just cut all this off right about there. And we just want this chunk because this actually plugs into the factory harness. And then we will take all these wires and we will solder them on to the new plugs right here. So let me get myself all laid out, pull out the soldering equipment, and grab a seat, and we'll get started. Okay, so I wanted to start doing it, but I just realized I'm out of heat shrink. So I'm going to run to the store really quickly and go get heat shrink, and I'll be back momentarily, and we will resume. And this project hopefully won't take too much longer. Yeah, that's it. Peace. See you in a second. Okay, so just got back from Harbor Freight and Lowe's because Harbor Freight was actually closed, which was really weird. I went in there to go get, like, you know, one of their multi-packs, kind of like this, but they're closed. So I ended up with, at Lowe's, this for like $2, which is kind of spendy, but whatever. I needed it. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already had the soldering iron on the charger to start warming up. Should be ready to go in a few minutes, but while we're waiting, we can go ahead and start prepping all the other wires. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Get all your wires soldered together and connected, or you can crimp these if you really wanted to. I just like solder because they take up a lot less room. The last thing to do is to move the cage over from the other radio, so I just need these two side panels, and then I'm going to bolt them up to the sides, and then we're just going to reverse the process and put this all back together. So I'll catch up with you guys when we're back in the car. So see you in a second. Anyway, just went ahead and plugged the radio in real quick, plugged the battery back in. Now we can go ahead and turn the key on and see if it works. Fingers crossed, but it'll probably work. Not too worried about it, guys. Alright, moment of truth, guys.
Because all these hormones are flowing, and I don't know what happens when you're out. Apparently that's what happens.
We're gonna try it sometime. We'll call you in the morning.
But Lowlands shows a chance
to assist in finding the band a record deal. And if they do...
Okay, so pretty much all that's left to do is put everything back together, which is pretty straightforward. And I'll sync up with you guys in a second, show you guys the completed project. So I'll be right back. Peace. Okay, so I kind of really like how this radio sits in here a little bit better. It sits a little bit more flush and it looks right. The one thing I've noticed is I can't get this panel to sit all the way flush, so I think it actually hits on the edge of this radio bezel right up in here, and so it's not allowing it to push back. So if you're going to use this in this car, you may want to Dremel it out on your own and just shave off some of it. I'm probably just going to leave it and let the next owner deal with it because I want to sell it. So that's probably going to be it for today. The last thing I really need to do is go back into the back seat and button it up because I took it apart to get the backup camera out. And I think the last thing I have to take out is the little microphone right here. This little microphone, which I think drags up into here or something. Anyway, so those are the last couple things that I have to deal with to get out. So I'm going to go do those real quick, and that's probably going to this is probably where I'm going to leave you guys off for today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, and I got to show you guys one more thing. My new spacers came, so my wheel fitment is on point. Alexa, pause. Look at this, baby. Ooh, look at that. Oh. it passes like the credit card test probably, and this does not, because I need to take at least the helper springs out or something. But anyway, I took that on a test drive earlier today, and it went good, but I need to roll the fenders a little bit more. So talking to an old friend of mine who actually happens to have a fender roller, hopefully he lets me borrow one, and we can give you guys another quick tutorial on how to roll your fenders, I guess, because I need to do that a little bit more. So anyway, I'm going to go button up the Subaru. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave the links in the description for this radio if you guys are interested in getting your own. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. Peace.